Welcome back to Interactive Animation and Games Lesson 15. Today we are going to start talking about conditionals. Here are some keywords. We have Boolean expression. In a program or in programming, an expression that evaluates to true or false. So basically we're looking at yes, the statement's true. No, it's false. Condition, something a program checks to see whether it is true before deciding to take an action. So it's going to go say, hey, is this true? Okay. Conditionals, statements that only run under a certain condition. So it's read the condition. Is this statement true or not? And if it's true, do this. If you did the problem solving unit with me, we talked about how computers process stuff. And one of the ways we talked about was if then statements. Okay, this is kind of like the same thing. All right, introductory code. Here's a bunch of codes that we're going to be looking at today. Go ahead and add those to your notebook. Then we will head over to code.org, lesson number 15, bubble number 1. Take a look at these Boolean expressions, all right? You need to decide whether each expression is true or false. Go ahead and pause the video and then make your prediction. All right, so we got sprite 1. So here's our sprite 1, y. That's our x, this is our y. So 200 equals sprite 2y, 200. So does 200 equal 200? Yes. So this condition would be true. All right, now we have sprite 1x, which is 100, is greater than sprite 2.x, which is 300. So is 100 greater than 300? No, it is not. So that condition would be false. And then is sprite.1x, so we have the same sprites here. Nope, we don't. We have sprite.x, so we have sprite 1, which is 100, and sprite 2y, which is 200, is sprite 1 less than x less than sprite 2y. So yes, 100 is less than 200. Once you've put in your answer, hit finish and go to bubble number 2. So number 2, we are going to match the Boolean expression. This is how we would say it in English. These are the Boolean expressions as we would put them in the computer. These are our comparison operations. They are not currently in the right order. You need to put them in the right order. I'm going to help you with the first one. Is the dog sprite's rotation less than the cat sprite rotation? So right off the bat, we know we're going to have a less than sign, okay? And we're talking about rotation. So here's going to be our answer. Is our dog rotation less than our cat rotation? Okay. Go ahead and do the rest of these and put them in order on your own. Moving on to bubble number 3. Do this. Well, first let's just run this program and see what we got. We got a car going across the finish line. All right, we need to find out if the race car has crossed the finish line. Add blocks to the text commands to print the Boolean to the screen. All right, so we're going to add blank is less than blank to our text parameter. So we're going to go down here and we're going to do this in this text parameter right there. Blank is less than blank. Okay. Add a sprite.x block to both sides of the sign. Sprite.x and sprite.x. So sprite.x, we are talking about the race car. Is the race car less than the finish line. Make sure you use the same spelling and the same capitalization as is up here. So let's take another look at this real quick. We have our race car. I can't pause it. We have our race car moving this way. I'm just going to wait till it goes across to true. Now our race car starts, we look up here, our race car starts at 400, 200. Our X is 400. So our race car starts over here. Okay. Our finish line is at 40. Okay, so our X is 40. Our race car is moving 2 blocks, 2 spaces at a time. So 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. So our X is becoming 2 less each time. When the race car is less than the finish line, so when the race car's X position, so it starts off at 400, when the race car's X position gets to be less than the finish line position, which is X is 40, so when X becomes of the race car becomes less than 40, then our statement will change and this will be true. Okay, so I want you to pause the video, think about all of that stuff we just did, and make sure you understand the comparison right here that we are comparing the X position of the race car to the X position of the finish line. Okay. Once you're done with that, hit finish and go to the next question. All right. I told you earlier, if you took the problem solving unit with me, we talked about if-then processing. So we are going to create an if Boolean statement. We are going to look at an if Boolean statement. So it wants you to predict what's going to happen. We have our race car equals race car minus 2. So our race car is going to be traveling 2 at a time, going this direction. When the race car X is less than the finish line X, text the orange car is the winner. So when our race car X is less than our finish line X, then the text, the orange car is the winner, will show up at 100, 100. So we've got our orange car is the winner. All right, once you've done that, hit finish and go to bubble number 5. All right, bubble number 5. We are going to add an if statement. So right now we just have an apple that gets bigger and bigger and bigger. The scale changes. The scale starts at 0.1 and increases by 0.1 at a time. So it increases 1% at a time. What we want to do is we want to use the conditional if statement to in the draw loop to check whether the fruit scale is greater than 2. If it is, change the fruit animation to a pear. So once we hit 2.01, we want our apple to turn into a pear. All right, so first we're going to add our if statement into the draw loop. So we need to go to our controls and we need to add our if statement. And then we need to make sure we have a something is greater than something symbol. Make sure you grab the right one. Okay. Then we need a scale block. And what are we talking about? We are talking about the fruit sprite. All right, so if our fruit scale is greater than 2, then what do we want to happen? We want to change the animation. So right now up here, it's set to apple. We want to change that fruit animation, make sure you name it fruit, to a pear. Okay, so go ahead and run your expression. All right, and there it is. So remember, our fruit scale is growing by 1% each time. And when we reach 200%, that fruit will change greater than, so 200, just over 200%, that fruit will change to an apple, a pear. All right. So here you're going to make some aliens dance. You're going to make balls spin. We got some dinosaurs here. You're going to work on changing that dinosaur to a pterodactyl. We got a bunch of challenges here. I want you to have fun with this and make things move. We are now making this more interactive. Like things are changing, things are happening. So have fun with this, and I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson.